Rivalry Report is brought to you by Mount Pleasant Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer in South Carolina.
Hey Beckham and Wando, for the last time, welcome back to Rivalry Report. I'm Jaden Archer. You heard that right, this is our last show of the year. Don't worry, we'll make it worth your while. Just because it's the end for now doesn't mean we're stepping off the gas. We'll begin today's show with a look at who won the NCAA basketball tournament. Then, we'll recap 2 different sports that came to a close. Lastly, looking back into pro football, the NFL draft is tomorrow night, so my guys and I will share our final thoughts on the first 10 picks of the draft. It all starts right now. Let's jump right into it. We'll start on a more national level. Let's look at who came out as the champions of college basketball. Congratulations to my pick, the Michigan Wolverines, for a 69-63 win over the UConn Huskies back on April 6th. While we're congratulating people, let's congratulate the winner of our, in this case, winners of our Within Rivalry Report Bracket Challenge. The 4 of us filled out brackets with the exceptions of brackets from our teacher and member of our studio. Since we're a little late, all of us started from the Sweet 16. We got 1 point for a correct Elite 8 team, 2 for a correct Final 4 team, 3 for a correct championship team, and 4 for a correct winner. There's a 3-way tie with me being one of them, but let's see who I get to share the stage with.
Thanks, Jaden. I picked Illinois, as you can see, lifelong Illinois fan, love them, and nice to win the bracket challenge with Jaden and Eddie. So that was cool. But Eddie, what do you have?
So I actually know nothing about basketball. I don't really know why I was given a bracket, but I was, and clearly, so I kind of thought Duke was going on the way. Clearly they didn't win. Clearly I did. And you know, who did Duke lose? So Duke lost to UConn. Pretty sure they're averaging 5 points a game. I don't really know. I don't really know why I'm here. Jane, can I go now?
Well, that was something. Congrats, Addie, and coming into our territory and sharing the win. Christian, congrats to you two from one Big Ten champ to another. Anyways, back to the local business. As of our taping, both of our schools have gone crazy in boys soccer. As the year comes to a close, the Warriors sit with a 15-1 record and are first in the state. Nationally, they rank first as well. They are currently undefeated in the region with a 4-0 record. If you thought that was impressive, Beckham isn't far behind. The Bengals sit with a 15-2 record, ranking 2nd in the state and 10th nationally. Similar to the Warriors, the Bengals are 6-1 in region play. Wouldn't it be crazy if these 2 teams could meet up? Oh right, they did. In case you missed this intense matchup in the jungle before break, here's Christian Sterling with the recap.
Get ready, because just a couple weeks ago, one of the most highly anticipated soccer matches in the country occurred as the 2-seeded Lucy Beckham Bengals played host to the 1-seed Wando Warriors in a battle for first place in the state. This game would prove to be very physical, as both teams would jump out early with a 1-1 score and time winding down in the first half. But with that time winding down, Wando would score to take a very important 2-1 lead going into halftime. However, early in the second half, Beckham would have a chance with a penalty kick and find their way back, scoring a much-needed goal. Score is now 2-2. But then Wando would bounce back immediately and score again, taking a 3-2 lead. Then later on, to secure the win, Wando would have another shot and another made goal, pretty much securing the match with a 4-2 lead. It's safe to say this Wando Beckham game did not disappoint as usual. Wando held on to the #1 seed in the state after a very competitive game. Signing off for Rivalry Report, I'm Christian Sterling.
Thanks, Christian. What a game. Good win, Warriors. Don't worry, if you didn't make it to the game, the Bengals and Warriors face off on the 30th for the last game of the season, this time in the Chop House. Bouncing over to lacrosse, the Warriors and Bengals look good this year. Although the season ended just yesterday, we aren't too late on a recap. As much as I would love to tell you guys all about it, enough for me. Let's go to sports analyst Walker Roberts for a deeper look.
Thanks, Jaden. Let's jump right into it. As of our taping, the Warriors sit with a 7-5 record, ranked second in the state. And on the other side of the sweetgrass, the Bengals are 11-3, ranked first in the state. As we know, region play is when things get serious. And as the season ends, let's look at how both teams performed this year. Wando finished with a 2-2 record in the region, and they looked pretty good all year. The Bengals, however, ended with a 4-0 record in the region, showing the town of Mount Pleasant who really runs lacrosse. Now, just because the season is over, it doesn't mean the fun is too. On our last show, we went over the Beckham vs. Wando game, resulting in a 9-5 Bengal victory. Now, whether you're a Warrior fan or a Beckham fan, we know everyone was hyped for Game 2. The Bengals ruled the series and beat the Warriors 9-7. A fantastic season for the Bengals indeed, beating their rival 2 of 2 times. That's all from me. Thanks, Jaden. I'll join you at the desk.
What a season this was for both schools in multiple sports. Even with a loaded show, we aren't done yet. I want to bring in my guys, Wesley Youthon, Christian Sterling, and Walker Roberts, to present our top 10 picks in this year's NFL Draft. We're going to get right into it. First pick, Fernando Mendoza. Super easy pick for the Raiders. I'll throw it up with it being that
Yeah, 100%. Like Jaden said, Fernando Mendoza is just an easy pick. To the Raiders, a franchise that has historically needed help. And I think, honestly, they're finding it in Fernando. Just a super dominant season with the Hoosiers going undefeated, winning the Heisman, winning the Natty. Everything you want from a quarterback on the media side and on the field. I think he's just a perfect first overall pick for the NFL. But I'll throw it back up to you guys for Rivalry Reese and the Jets.
Like Walker mentioned, pick number 2 is going to be Arvil Reese from Ohio State, another really outstanding player. Could go a few different ways with that pick, but Wes, I'll kind of toss it up to you. What do you feel about it?
I think this guy really is going to be a corner piece for this defense. The Jets have really always prided themselves on being more of a defensive team.
For sure.
And their head coach, Aaron Glenn, really emphasizes a strong defensive team. And he kind of reminds me, Orville Reese reminds me of C.J. Mosley, a Jets linebacker that played a few years ago. Just a really good locker room guy, and he's going to be good against the run and the pass. He's a very dynamic linebacker with long arms, so he's able to rush the quarterback as well. So he's going to be very useful in both the run and the pass for the Jets.
Definitely could be used as kind of an edge rusher as well. But we'll move on to the third pick. We got a little offensive lineman out of Miami. We got Francis Malgoa. Pretty good pick. I think he's probably definitely the best lineman in the draft. I mean, it could be up for debate with a few others, but I think this is definitely the Cardinals pick. They've got a few different needs, but Christian, I'll toss it up to you since they had their turn.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick for the Cardinals, especially considering the fact that they have the playmakers. They got Marv Harrison Jr. and their defense is building up. I think getting an offensive lineman like him would be great after going to the national championship. I think he's a great pick, great pass protector, great run blocker. I think it's a great pick for them.
100%.
Going on to the next one. We got a pretty good pick. A lot of people haven't fallen, but we got Ruben Bain going to the Titans. There's a lot of different mock drafts with a lot of different picks going here to the Titans. I think they were really trying to focus on helping out Cam Ward, but I think with the talent that Ruben Bain has, it's really hard to just pass on him that early. So looking at the season Miami had going to the national championship, he was really critical for that team. Although they did lose to the Hoosiers, he still put up a lot of numbers in that playoff run that they had. Moving on to the next one. A little bit of a sleeper in this year's draft. I have the Giants taking Sonny Styles. Yeah. Showed out in the combine, but what do you guys think? Why is he maybe a sleeper, and why can he be picked this early?
I think he's a good pick for New York. I think if you're picking a linebacker out of Ohio State, that's a great choice. I think that their defense this past year really showed that they deserve it, and that's all I've got to say about that. But I think it's a good pick for New York, but I mean, I don't know why. I don't consider him a sleeper, in my opinion.
I feel like if he falls past that mark, it would fall out of the top 20. To be honest, I mean, there's a lot of other teams. That might be a stretch, but there are a lot of teams that would prioritize different needs over a player like that. Next pick, we got Cleveland taking a wide receiver and Carnell Tate. You got a really good wide receivers this year in this year's draft, but I feel like he's the no-brainer number one, to be honest. You got Malachi Lemon. You've got Jordan Tyson, but I feel like with the needs for the Browns, they really need to beef up their weapons for that new quarterback in Shedeur. What do you guys think?
I think it's a strong pick, but in my opinion, you're really thin in that secondary right now, and that to me it's a little bit too high to be going to a receiver in the top 10. For me, when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, their identity is going to be centered around keeping Myles Garrett and keeping him long term.
True. Okay.
And so having a strong rookie that can stand out alongside a former defensive player of the year in Denzel Ward, you need cornerback depth, especially in that division that they play with a bunch of great receivers from the Steelers to the Ravens and the Bengals.
All right.
So that's why I disagree with that. I would have picked a corner.
Speaking of Myles Garrett and a good defense, we've got David Bailey going to the Commanders. A little bit of a toss-up. He could go a lot sooner, could go a lot later, he could fall. You never know what would happen with those picks. I think he's really strong. Him and Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez could fall out of the first round, but you never know with those players like that. Like we talked about Sony Styles and the linebacker core. A lot of teams like to pass on those because they will fall to later rounds. To the Saints, we got a safety in Caleb Downs. I think he's definitely the best secondary position in this draft. He could go a little bit sooner. He could fall to the Bengals, but I feel like maybe the Dolphins, I feel like that's the lowest he could go.
Yeah.
From a Dolphins standpoint, I would love to have him. To the Chiefs, we've got Jeremiah Love going this low. It's a little bit of a toss-up. I feel like Reuben Bain and Jeremiah Love could get flip-flopped.
I would say I do not think the Chiefs will be taking Jeremiah Love. I think after getting Kenneth Walker, I know that it's great to have a young running back. I think that a running back position is not something that you prioritize in the NFL, and I don't see why. The Chiefs need a lot of other things. I don't think in the first round that they will be taking a running back.
The only reason I could see Jeremiah Love getting to the Chiefs is just because they let go of Isaiah Pacheco, and also with a running back like Jeremiah Love, the Chiefs are the team to jump on that. If he's sitting there and you've got that much talent in a running back with as many awards and yards and touchdowns that he got, no one can pass up on that. That's the only reason I can have them taking him. And then with the Bengals, I'll toss this one up to Walker. We got Monroe Freeling, offensive lineman. As a Georgia fan, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, honestly, I'll go ahead and say it. We're a little biased here at the studio just because he played at Oceanside, which is literally a mile down the road. He was great, good at Georgia. Like Jaden mentioned, I'm a Bulldog fan. And yeah, I just really want to see him succeed. I want to see him go far. He did great at Georgia, and I'm just looking forward to how he performs in the NFL.
I feel like we could say that with all of them. That's our top 10, guys. Thank you guys for joining me and
Sure.
giving your takes on it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for watching. On the ECSN YouTube channel, we already have 3 of our new podcasts up. Everyone go take a look for a deeper insight into our opinions about everything sports. That's all we have on today's show. Thanks for watching and supporting us on this year's journey. We wouldn't be here without y'all. Until next year, signing off for Rivalry Report, I'm Jaden Archer.